Do you want to get better at PvP? I'll be telling you everything you need to know, from important mechanics, starting a combo, holding a combo, and even secret tips that only top players know. I can guarantee you that you won't need another PvP tutorial after watching this video. So make sure to watch till the end to become unstoppable at Minecraft Bedrock PvP. First of all, in order to effortlessly get a combo, you need to have a good settings. The most important parts of the settings are your sensitivity and your FOV. If your sensitivity is too high, then your aim would become shaky, and if your sensitivity is too low, then your aim would become sluggish. So you need a sensitivity that isn't too high or too low. For me, I use 16 sensitivity with a most DPA of around 1000. If your DPA is 800, I would recommend using 20 cents. For me, I turned off FOV altered off, as your FOV doesn't change, even when you sprint or when you play game modes that require speed potion like no the above. I would recommend using 85 to 110 FOV with altered off and 70 to 85 FOV with altered on. Your clicking method are also very important for PvP. I could not recommend using either normal clicking or JitR clicking, as there are no other clicking methods that are way better than them. Right now, the best clicking method would be to drag click. But everyone doesn't have a mouse that can drag click with CPS, so I would recommend time beta fly king if you don't have a mouse that can drag. If you don't know what time clicking is, it is basically when you only click when you need it to. That is when the hit cooldown ends, something like this. A good way to practice time clicking is to listen to 110 BPM sounds while you are playing. Both drag clicking and time clicking gives you very good hit registration, which is essential for holding a combo. But I would not recommend time clicking when you are fighting a high ping player or when your ping is above 150. Here is a photo of a tier list of all popular cooking methods that I made, so you can see which cooking method is the best and which of them to avoid. Also, I recommend putting your damage to 0% so your screen doesn't shake when you get hit. This is especially helpful in games like Sky Wars, where there are a lot of projectiles. Now that you know some important stuffs before learning how to combo, I will tell you how you can start a combo. Now, your movement is very important for starting a combo. If you just move in a straight line, your chances of getting a combo would become very low and your movement would become predictable. So this is where strafing comes in. Strafing is when you press either W and A or W and D before getting in grades. When you strafe, your movement becomes much unpredictable, making it harder for your opponent to combo you, and it makes it more easier for you to get a combo. You should also keep changing your strafing directions, whether to the left or right, or your movements would be too predictable. In games like Sky Wars, you can start a combo by using projectiles, such as your bows or snowballs. Just use your bow or snowballs just before you are within your opponent's hit range, and you can start a combo from there. For beginners, you can also use 2 snowballs instead of 1, as it makes your opponent get picked up much faster. You can also place blocks in front of your opponent. If you do this, 2 things can happen. Either they stop or they jump on top of the blocks. Either way, you should both have the advantage, because if they stop, they will lose all their momentum, and you can easily combo them if you maintain your distance well enough. And if they jump on top of the blocks, you now basically have the low ground, which gives you a much better chance in getting a combo. Now that you know the basics on how to start a combo, I will be telling you some advanced tips on how to start a combo. Jump resetting. You have probably heard this like a million times now, so I will just briefly explain how to jump reset. In order to jump reset, just press or hold the jump button just before or when you hit the ground on the second or third hit of the trade, which will result in little to no KB if done correctly. Hit selecting. If selecting is when you let your opponent hit you first, and then as soon as you get hit, just hit them back, resulting you in getting a combo. In order to get hit, select, just strafe to your opponent's side like this, and then just wait for them to hit you, and as soon as they hit you, you will be behind of your opponent, and just hit them back, and you will get a combo without having to jump reset. There's also another way to hit select which will help you effectively hit more jump resets where you just hit them back as soon as they hit you without having to get in behind of them. And you will fall to the ground earlier than your opponent, resulting in you getting a better chance of hitting a jump reset. Also, I recommend predicting them hitting you instead of hitting them after you see your opponent hitting you, if that makes sense. Block resetting. Block resetting is when you place blocks under you when getting hit, which negates all your knockback. It is mainly done in Hive Skywars, but you can also do this in other servers. In order to block reset, just hit your opponent and your opponent will likely hit you as well. After you hit your opponent, look down instantly to place blocks and then hit your opponent again and repeat the same steps until you get a combo. Also, make sure to press W while doing this or it will not work. Now that you know all the tips to start a combo, most people don't actually know how to hold them. So I will now tell you how to properly hold a combo. In a situation where you know that your opponent will not likely run from combos such as in sumo and boxing, you can maintain your distance by W tapping. W tapping is when you press the sprint button, that is W, every time you hit your opponent. Also, don't just try to hold your combo while going in a straight line, as you can become predictable, making it easier for your opponent to hit you. In order to become much more unpredictable, you can strive either to the left or right while still the blue tippings. A good way to practice is to use bots like bots in Zeka. Also, remember to delay your hits sometimes for a short amount of time. If you don't, your opponent will be too high and they will not be in your reach range, so you won't be able to hit them anymore. Now, you should know that your opponent will likely run in most cases unless it's boxing or sumo. So here's what you should do if your opponent will likely run from combos. After you pick them up, maintain your distance. Also, I recommend strafing while maintaining the distance as it gives you more momentum. And as soon as you see them running or S-stepping, just go towards them at full speed. And if you see them slow down again, you should maintain your distance by W tapping again. And if they run again, just repeat the same thing. Now that you know how to start a combo and how to hold them, I will tell you where to aim. On the first hit of the trade, I recommend aiming at your opponent's lower part of the chest or upper parts of their legs. And just when you are about to hit your opponent again, move your aim a little bit lower than before on the second hit. That should help you combo your opponent more easily. Now, while holding a combo, just aim at your opponent's feet or their legs. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for. I will now be telling you some secret tips that only top players use. If you look at their gameplay, you will see that they don't actually strafe only in one direction. They either strafe left or right before they are about to get hit, and they strafe to the opposite direction just when they are about to get hit. For me, I usually just strafe to the left and then just press D without pressing W, and it works pretty well. Another tip that I really don't know how to explain well is to stop for a short amount of time before going into trades, then just sprint again. This somehow helps me get combos, but still, I don't really know the reason why this works, but if it works, it works, you know. Yeah. Now, I will tell you a secret tip on how to counter jump resetting. Most people know what jump resetting is and how to do it now, so we are going to use that to our advantage. When you're going to trade with your opponent, just hit them normally on the first hit, but when it's time for the second hit, you are going to wait for them to hit you, and they will most likely jump on the second because they are trying to jump reset. Now you got your opponents off guard and they are now much higher than you. When they jump, this is when you hit them and you can easily start your combo from there. There are also more secret tips that I cannot share in this video for certain reasons. But if this video does well and get 250 likes, maybe I will share those tips in another video. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.